Everybody watch their sound tonight.
Okay.
You just coming to his own individually, then to come in, since well, Bridge will be last, obviously.
On mute.
Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxchair, on the show this evening as the one and only Linda, the legend that is Southside, and the Rangers Radio god, the Bridge. How we doing, people?
Evening, Oxchair. Evening, guys. Evening to all the listeners. I hope you're all keeping well.
Evening, Ox. Good evening to everyone listening in this evening. Good to be on with the King and Queen of Rangers Radio.
I'll try to work that one out. All right, I see what you've done there. Evening, Bridge.
That was quite funny, that one. Very good. Can I just say a huge good evening to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
How are you, Linda?
Very well, Ox. Yes, a good day yesterday, and we march on.
Yeah, we march on. Just keeps building, Southside. The drama keeps building, the tension keeps building, and the hatred for people's pores keeps building, eh?
I hated aplenty, mate. I've had that. I heard it all yesterday. I know at the game, when the big game went to the game yesterday with my big China, and thoroughly enjoyed the day out as always, mate.
Aye, yeah. He's the only boy who can end up next year, and he's not on the shoulder how he does it. Right. How are you, the Bridge?
I'm well, thank you. Well, and like yourselves, everybody, very, very delighted with the score last night. Very delighted.
I wouldn't say it was a classic, and I wouldn't say we were under any real pressure apart from bits and pieces. And we actually won reasonably comfortable, but you could tell Southside there's a bit of tiredness in the team.
Aye, Ox. You could see the legs. Listen, the majority of them played a lot of hard games. Coming back off a European game on the Thursday night, Ox, and the travelling and everything that's involved, the weather, there was a heavy part, pouring rain. And then you're coming back to play Hibs, who have had a full rest, and you're asking the players to go again in a short period of time. The team looked tired, mate. They looked as if they need this wee break coming up to Thursday. I know it's no long, but they need it.
We need to get to Sunday, mate. Hopefully with 2 victories and then rest. But well, I'm sure we're coming at Linda. It was a game. It's always tricky traditionally. Always a difficult place to go, even though we've got a great record there at the moment.
Yeah, I think so, Ox. And as Southside said, it was a bit coming off the back of that game on Thursday, and it was some shift that they all put in. And he went with the same starting 11 as well. He didn't even leave anybody out, so they had to go again. And Hibs, it's their home match. It's probably what they've got to play for. The Scottish Cup, they probably were thinking that they had a chance, maybe because we were going to be tired. So for me, Ox, it was all about just getting through, and I wasn't that bothered about what sort of performance. But I would agree with you. I don't think we were in any danger. But once we got that second goal, we were able to relax a wee bit, weren't we?
Yeah. So it was again played under, if you like, tricky conditions. The rain was coming down at times, Bridgeman, and obviously we've got a lot of injuries within my squad. But the starting lineup was fair, right?
Yeah, I think sorry. Yeah, I think the fact the starting lineup was okay. The guys started well, shall we say, and the legs are going to be a wee bit tired. That's obvious, but it's just sheer volume of games that they're playing. And the available squad's getting a wee bit smaller, and so the alliance is heavier. and so on and so forth. And they did a tremendous run for us last night, absolutely tremendous. But some of them are going to be extremely tired.
Aye, we need to get to Sunday, mate. Then they can have a week off, and then we'll be ready for a big push, hopefully. But Southside, the game started, and then Linda can chip in the bridge. The game started. I don't know if you noticed right away. There was a check on Dessers, and the referee missed it, and therein lies your problem, mate. Yeah.
Noticed it straight away. They actually done him twice, I think, after the ball. That I noticed at the game, because he ended up in the deck. But in the first, as soon as the kick-off happened, he went to run across the area. Next minute, he was decked. But as you say, the ref never saw it. But that was going to be the start of it, mate, as you say, and it just sort of progressed into that. It got a bit needly, didn't it, as it went on during the first half?
Aye. And I don't think the official was particularly stinking last night. I just think they're incompetent, and that's the standard of the refereeing. But that's a whole different debate, Linda.
Yeah, Ox, that's a whole show in itself, and you're right. The
We'll get international break. We can kill 2 nights for that one. Get the bridge on, just leave them, wind them up, just let them go.
You better watch his blood pressure.
Yeah. Ask Mrs. Bridge when she wants a few hours peace, and we'll just wind them up, comment and referees. That'll take you for 2 hours, Bridge, yeah. Right, so the game started, and would it be fair to say there wasn't a lot happening? They came down our right flank, and we never started brilliantly, but slowly, Linda, we built ourselves into the game, and I think most of our danger at the start of the game is maybe coming through Silva. Don't know if you picked that up, yeah?
Yeah, he's actually like him on that side of the park. I think we all agree, Ox, that, and he'll say he's not a centre forward. He's not a number 9. He's better coming in from the wide, or maybe a number 10. The only thing that gave me a wee bit of a scare was our goalkeeper.
I'm not completely blaming Jack. I thought it was a hospital pass with Connor. Yeah.
It wasn't the best from Golson, but
no.
It was heart and mouth time, and it was quite ironic that he's been quoted for England, and Ramsdale did the same. But that was all I can think of. And Dessel had a couple of good chances, didn't he? The volley sort of past the post.
Right foot. Took it his right foot.
Yeah, aye. But no, Ox, I would say we kind of grew into the game. I would agree with that.
Southside?
I think did Silva have a wee chance in the first 10 minutes?
Aye, he did.
I think that, but it took a while to get going. As you mentioned, CD9, don't think. Listen, he worked hard. I think the last 2 games he's not done enough. He's done enough in effort, chasing down, but he's got to hold the ball up, Box. He's got to bring other players.
His passing's been atrocious the last
couple of games. He's been poor that way.
I would say the last 3 games he's been poor, if I'm being honest, Southside.
Listen, we know he's not got a great touch at times, and sometimes he does. He lays a cracking pass off, and you think, where did that come from? But I just thought, work rate, I mean, he battled away in the first half, didn't he? And he got that chance for himself.
I made that himself, Biggie.
I mean, he chased a lost ball, and I heard somebody saying today that was a great pass down the line. The defender had it under control. He should just have lumped it out the park, but he worked hard to get it off him. But then you're thinking, just finish it, Biggie. And he did. I thought he'd have hit it first time. I've seen it back now, and I thought, how did you drill it early? But he cut inside, which was nice, but he's narrowing the angle on himself, But I thought he worked hard, but he was still just didn't do enough for me, mate. I was disappointed.
Aye. I don't think he was alone, but we'll come to that. So we were huffing and puffing, and then the man for all positions. That's quite a compliment, Linda, isn't it? I don't know where that came from. I didn't even mean that.
Keep it clean.
Oh dear. Shut your ears, Bridge. Shut your ears.
I thought you'd fell off the chair there.
No, I never heard them.
You know what I mean, Linda. But,
yes, we know what you mean.
Right. Big Dijon Sterling. Listen, we break away the ball. We get the ball back in midfield. We get it down the park. It comes to Dijon. He's running through and goal. The guy's on his back. Hits him actually 3 times, which, look, as he tried to kill him with a right hook, no, he's no. But he's running at pace and he's pushing them in the back. 3 times he does it. It's a penalty kick all day long.
Absolutely, Ox, yes. And the furore around any penalty that's given to Rangers is becoming tiresome and quite boring for us fans, I think. It's a penalty all day long. Yes, you can call it clumsy. He's not been like scythed down or anything like that, but it's a stick-on penalty, and Big Dujon did brilliant. He actually had quite a wee bit of joy on that side, didn't he?
Aye.
And it's a penalty all day long. Don't know why there has to be any debate, but as you see, Ox, because it's Rangers, there always has to be some sort of a furore about it, and the meltdown because we got a penalty. But Stonewaller, absolutely.
Bridgeman?
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. I got no qualms about what Dujon Sterling was trying to do. He was running in front of the guy. Guy couldn't get past him, if you know what I mean. He didn't have pace to catch him. But he kept pushing him. It looked like he kept pushing him in the back, just as you said, Ox, there. And sooner or later, the person's going to fall because he ended up tangled his legs up with Sterling's as well. That's 100%, 100% penalty. In anybody's language, in any day of the week, that's a penalty.
It's just clumsy was the word used Southside, Belinda. I think that's it. Right? If you do it yourself, you're saying, why have you done that? Why are you making that decision? Yeah.
At the time, Ox, for being at our end of the park watching it, we were just waiting for him to shoot. And then suddenly you could see the boy behind him. But as soon as it went done, I just thought, well, he must have clipped him somehow. He's pushed him or something, because I think he's just expecting him to shoot and hit the target. And next minute he's on the deck and the player's in top of him. So it took a while, did it no, for Tav to eventually take the penalty. See, at one point, Marshall was out talking to him, standing in the, I don't know if it showed you on the telly or what, but Marshall was actually talking to Tav at the penalty spot at one point. Did you notice that, Linda? Did you notice that at the time?
On you go, Ox.
What they should do, Southside, see where he VAR's decisions, that's where he should have half time and then come back and start with the penalty. Somebody would take that long.
It took ages, Ox. I don't know how long it was that actually took, but it just felt like Tav was waiting for ages to take the penalty. And it was pretty poorly took and all.
It wasn't his best, but it didn't matter, did it, Linda?
No, it was just because it wasn't as much in the corner, is it? He normally just about hits the side netting, or it's high into the corner, isn't it? But Southside's right. Maybe it was just all the waiting about. But John Lundstrom follows in and does what he should do. It was really great work by Big John, wasn't it?
I thought he was our man of the match yesterday, and that summed it up when he got that goal. Bridgeman, I didn't like Tav's run up yesterday. I know he's done similar. It just looked a wee bit close to the ball, which doesn't give you that many options, does it?
I think you're 100% right. I think everything about that penalty wasn't right. As Southside said there, the goalkeeper coming out, standing talking to you. He's not just talking to you, he's giving you some stick. Yeah, I'm going to save your penalty, you're not going to get it past me, blah, 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 blah. All the crap, you know. And that, sometimes it gets to you, sometimes it doesn't. Hopefully it doesn't, but I think it did get to Tav a bit last night. And that caused maybe his concentration to lapse a wee bit, because it was quite a poorly taken penalty. And it wasn't even, if he got it closer to the post, then you know the guy might not have made it, the goalkeeper might not have made it. But you know, it looked as if it put it right into his arms, you know. That's what it looked like. I don't mean standing up, that's what it looked like, you know. So I think that obviously star man Lundstrom comes running in, brilliant. Just brilliant. And manages to get a foot to it and get in the net.
Listen, we said with these run of games we need a bit of luck, and that was a wee bit of luck we got. We got the penalty, and we've got the chance. We miss it, and we get a bit of luck, Southside, and we've not had much luck, if we're being honest. So that'll do, is it?
Aye, no, he done well to follow it in. Like you say, usually Tav's usually reliable for the spot. He does sometimes miss one or two, and unfortunately for us, he missed it, but it was a good fall-in for Big Lundstrom and got us a goal, and that's what we needed at that time in the game, Ox.
Then, Linda, we started knocking about and we had them chasing the shadows, yeah?
Yeah.
You know, we looked as if we could have got a second goal.
Yeah, because Sterling had another great.
Aye,
sort of
similar.
burst, didn't it? It was quite similar.
I think he should score, Linda, if I'm being honest.
Aye. I think he kind of hits it straight at the goalie. Maybe been better hitting it across the goalie. But it was a terrific run for Sterling, and you know that's why the other one is a penalty, because he's about to pull the trigger and he gets brought down for the earlier incident, but this time he gets his shot away, and you could tell he was a bit disappointed that he didn't actually score there, but. He's makeshift right-sided player now, and he's doing terrific for us, isn't he?
Scoring goals, getting brought down for penalties. Maybe he's a midfield player. What do I know? But we could have...
No chance.
We
He's
could
a
have got
midfield player. You're absolutely right there.
we could have got a second, and we started knocking the ball about okay. And obviously we the blip with Big Jack Butland. But apart from that, I don't think he'd have saved to make the rest of the half bridge, if I'm being honest.
Well, you know, I think shall we say that the bit of hilarity about what happened with Butland was his own fault. But it wasn't the greatest pass back from the centre half. But when he got the ball, it wasn't under control. He let that ball run two or 3 yards away from him, thinking he just easily pick this up. He couldn't engage the forward's pace, and the forward beat him to the ball and got a wee tug.
Aye, he put it on the post bridge. That was that was a bit of luck as well.
Butland hopefully can stop any embarrassment now and just concentrate and speak to the centre halves about the pace of the ball they're putting back to him. Because if you're going to be wanting to use a goalkeeper as a former defender, you can't be putting poor passes to him, and particularly when he's virtually on the goal line. It's got to be a lot better than that, a lot easier for the goalkeeper, so he can just one-touch pass if necessary, or even be able to gather it quite easily. I don't know what their pitch is like.
Do you remember when you were told things, you never passed it back towards the goal and you never passed it across your own goal? How football's changed, Bridger.
Absolutely. Well, of course, there's a not dependence, maybe a dependence for some teams, but our teams like us, at the level we're at, we expect the goalkeeper to be able to play football, a bit of football, using the foot, or feet, and they can. I don't mean to dribble and beat anyone, just to gather the ball and pass it. But don't make sure you're never under pressure, because under pressure, anything could happen. No matter who you are, anything could happen. And that's what happened to him last night. He put himself under pressure.
Sometimes I think the defenders pass the buck and put the goalies under too much pressure, Southside, if I'm honest.
I thought he was making a mess of it, to be honest. I thought when he passed him it back, he took a touch and then he's sort of dragging it across. And the worst thing he done was go across the goal with it. He was well just back heeling it and putting it out for a corner. But I thought he time when he got his touch and then he touched it again. I thought he should just have tried to kick it at the time. But listen, I'm not worried if they can't play with their feet too well. I just want him to be able to save the ball, command their area and do the job that he's been doing, turn up and make big saves. And that's what he's done. So we got away with one. But it is what it is. I'm more happy that he commands his area and he's doing the job that he's doing. More worried about what he can do with his feet, to be honest, Ox.
I get it, mate. Right, so the second half started. Would it be fair to say they started slightly with a better team, Linda?
Yeah, and they did, Ox, and they had a couple of corners, a couple of wee sort of half chances, but you would expect that from them. They're the home team, they're a goal down, and they probably thought, come out all guns blazing and see if they could maybe even nick an equaliser, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then we slowly again started to get a foothold, Southside, yeah. We started passing the ball well. I thought, led by, if I'm honest, I think we're better players on the night were John Lundstrom, supported by Ridvan. I don't think the rest done okay without being outstanding.
Aye, I thought Diamandi was no bad in spells in the game.
At times, I've got something on him I want to speak to you about.
Aye, but Ridvan, aye, definitely. I thought Ridvan was pretty decent again. I thought Suter was decent as well, but Ridvan sort of got on the ball and started to venture up the park and got us up in the second half. made a lot of nice runs. And like I said, he worked well with Silver on that side, and Lundstrom had a really good second half as well. He was strong until things started to develop with the sendings after, as you'll get to. But at that point, I think we were knocking the ball about and players were starting to get on it. Although they came out flying at the start of the second half, Ox, whether it was a change in mentality or what, I don't know. But no, we had to compete at that time, you know, and the midfield were competing.
Aye. Listen, Linda, but slowly we're fitting it, and then all the drama started. But the drama started because the referee had lost the plot.
Yeah, I think he started to lose a bit of control of the game. Some sort of, shall we say, tasty tackles going in. Hibs, I think, started to get frustrated, Ox, because they had that earlier spell. They didn't get the equaliser. And I think the way that our midfield started to get a foothold in terms of controlling the match, they didn't like that. And their frustrations just basically boiled over, Ox.
We are not in the first half. We missed that. Young McCausland come on, and we're hearing, hopefully it's not as bad as we initially thought. So we'll maybe hear something more tomorrow, but just fingers crossed. So then we make the substitution. Roof comes on. But I don't think he touched the ball, Bridge.
Hardly touched the ball. You're right. His presence was awesome. That's all I can say. He had made an effect on them, you know. I think that team, Hibs, somewhere along the line, what they're trying to do playing wise and their position in the league and their form and all the rest of it, they don't match up. They're overstretching, and it's a hard man style. In my opinion, that's what they're being taught or coached to do this, and double up and all that nonsense and over the ball tackles and go in there and just knock 7 kids a shit out of them, like Motherwell used to try and do against Rangers when with Warburton. That kind of thing, you know. So I think the club Hibs are a pale shadow of the club they were football-wise. Now, I've no doubt they can still play a wee bit of football, but that becomes secondary. It's all about rummeling up the opposition and leaving your mark and so on and so forth. That's what it seems like to me.
What was maybe galling, if you think back to, was it last season? It was last season, or was it the season before? At times go by that quickly. When Lundstrom gets sent off for taking somebody out, remember? Outside the same day Morelos gets sent off. And then Lawrence is going to be in the first, in the second half, and their guy just takes him out. Now, it's a booking all day long, but it was a booking all day long for Lundstrom back in the day. So he gets booked. Then he gets involved with, when making the substitution when young McCausland's coming off and Matondo and Matondo and Roof are coming on. So he gets involved then. He could have been booked then because it's nothing to do with him. It's up to the referee. He shouldn't have put his hands on anybody. So then he has let's say a cheat foul. But it's because of the way he's played the game. He's got himself a second yellow card. For a professional football, it was taught he got his team in trouble for being an amateur, Southside.
Well, gets himself involved when he's getting himself involved in McCausland when he's walking off with the 2 physios. And then obviously when Matondo's trying to run by him, he puts an arm out to block him. And then next minute, I think he used his other arm. I don't know if his arm was around the back of his shoulder or something at the time. And Matondo goes down. Most players would. And he's the referee a decision to make. And by the letter of the law, he's made a foul against a player off the ball. 9 times out of 10, it'll be a booking. If it's really serious, it'll be a sending off. So he picks up his second yellow because of it, mate. It's his own stupidity. I think his manager would probably be raging about it when he actually seen how he gets his second booking, you know.
If I was coaching that team, I'd have been raging with him. You know, obviously, we're hoping we're still going to win the game, but at 1-0, you're still in any cup tie, you know.
Yeah, definitely. You're still in it. You're at home. You're playing against a team who had a game midweek, as we've alluded to a few times. The tiredness would start to kick in, and our manager didn't have a lot of options as well in terms of bringing people off and refreshing the team. So he would just think, keep in it. And even if they had kept it at 1-0 and nicked a goal towards the end, the end, you're then looking at extra time. So it was absolute madness from them, and they've only got themselves to blame, Hibs.
Aye. So then within a couple of minutes, the guy comes sliding in with Bridgeman. I can only describe it as a kamikaze tackle on John Lundstrom. Yes, he never took him out. Yeah, but he fell on and been down. But it was a crazy, crazy tackle. And I think the manager summed it up nicely that tackle should be outlawed for the whole game and needs to be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where the guy gets taught and coached how to do these tackles. I think he's just lost his senses just a wee bit, in my opinion. He was only there to block the man, nothing else. It was a pure blocking tackle. And if he could have caught the guy with his boots, he would have caught the guy with his boots. He wasn't interested in anything other than taking the man out and stopping him. That's what it was about, in my opinion. And I'm not the greatest judges of things. Some can be quite severe sometimes. I know when I was coaching, that's the last type of tackle I wouldn't have played the guy again. If he ever played for me, he'd done that, wouldn't play again. The way that happened, no. Better ways to tackle, better ways to do things. That guy just lost the plot completely. Best thing that happened to him was getting sent off.
Aye, and going back a wee bit, going back to that same game, if you remember us, so I said we were raging with Alfredo. It might have been soft, he might have not get sent off every day of the week, but when you give the referees a decision to make, especially when your team's down to 10 men, you deserve everything you get for being so stupid.
No, I think...
Sorry, can I just interrupt there? The problem in my brain with this is when you listen to their manager's, shall we say, interview, and he is actually saying all of that happened in these games, he's blaming Lundstrom for it.
All right. So it was Lundstrom come sliding in like a madman and could have broke somebody's leg.
No, he went
with
down.
No control.
He's blaming Lundstrom for going down. No blaming the player. The player was just going for the ball, according to him.
All right, he was nowhere near the ball. That's the problem.
Absolutely, nowhere near.
Yeah, it was a reckless challenge. He wasn't in control, dangerous. Southside, in you come.
2-footed lunge off the ground. So I don't think any players get many complaints when they do it. I just thought hard to see at the time. You're up there horrendous and you're looking at it, so you think he probably nailed him to a point, Lundstrom, during the game, but it was just a careless, reckless, dangerous tackle, and it was going to be a red all day long. You seen what Cifuentes get sent off for, and his was more or less a step trying to bring his foot has to come down, and it landed unfortunately on the boy's leg.
John Sterling against Aberdeen.
Aye. And he's clipped him, but he's sliding in. Oxers that no, he slid in, but he's no off the ground. That boy, since I've seen the tackle back on the way back in the bus, there was somebody showed a couple of photos there, and he was off the ground. You know, as he's lunged in.
The only tackle was higher all weekend was John McGinn.
Aye.
Yeah. Anyway, so he gets sent off, and I think that finished the game as a contest, Linda. Yeah, they're down to 9 men, and we were just passed the ball about, and you're saying, just get a second goal so we can relax, because it only takes one mistake, and then the nerves kick in, because you just want the game put to bed, and Big Silver pops up and gets a second goal. Good finish, Linda.
Yeah, terrific goal, and I think there's because they're down to 9 men, there's a lot of room for us to pass the ball about, but there's a wee clip doing the rounds about the number of passes. They worked the ball left to right, just looking for the space, and then Silva's looking at Lundstrom saying, give me before I go offside, and it was a fantastic pass for Lundstrom, and he cuts back into his right side, Silva, doesn't he? I think he gives the goalie the eyes, Ox, doesn't he? He's looking to shoot to the right, and then he just takes it and hits it to the left, and gave David Marshall, who is a good goalkeeper, no chance. I was pleased for Silva because he played well yesterday, I thought, and he did really well on Thursday night, so it was good for him to get another goal, Ox.
Aye, he's working hard in that position, So that was the game done. Pretty much after that, I think we just passed the ball about, finished the game. So an eventful evening, Southside down the bridge.
Aye, it was usually there's a bit of I think we do quite well at Easter Road, Ox, for the period of time that we go there. Sometimes they make it hard for us, but usually we get the right results. Don't get as many flare-ups recently as what happened, 2 sending-offs. A wee bit feisty at times, but listen, we're into the semi-final. Waiting on the draw this evening, I think it happens. And that's just something else that's ticked off the box, mate. Coming back after a European game, always hard no matter what game you're playing on a Sunday, whether it's a league game or a cup game. And there was a short turnaround in the squad. I've picked up a couple of injuries. That's just the most disappointing thing for that evening.
Aye, McCausland and Stirling, and hope everybody else is all right. And obviously, since Thursday, we've heard that Ryan Jack's got another muscle injury, Linda.
Huh. What kind of muscles he got?
They made a chocolate bread.
Oh, goodness sake.
It's quite incredible, that Ox. He came on for a cameo, didn't he? 77th minute he came on Thursday. And I think our manager said that he took a knock, so I don't know if it was a tackle on him or what. But he's, I don't know.
Could be a dead leg or something, you don't know. Maybe we're being unkind to him because,
yeah.
You know, but. Aye, so the game was finished. So ultimately, a good result, Bridge, yeah? A good result.
A fabulous result as far as the Rangers are concerned. You can't ask for a better result than a result like that. It's amazing. And we needed the 3 points, and we've got 3 points. And that's just fantastic. For me, fantastic. And I'm sure every other Rangers fan very happy with it. There's parts of the game they might not be 100% happy with. But for goodness sake, we go to Easter Road, we come away with a clean sheet, you know, and 2 goals. Fantastic. We're into the semi-finals. Brilliant.
Right, I suppose we better get these phone lines opened, yeah? We've gabbed enough. Yep. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
I wanted to pick your brains. Southside first, and then the other 2 can chip in. Diomande. I think that the boys get something about him. He's got a swagger. He tries to pass the ball. Yeah, he's learning his trade, if I'm honest, Southside. He could be a rough diamond. What I'm not liking, and I watched it again yesterday, see when the ball bounces in midfield, mate, he cannot header it. Or he'll not go for it, he backs away from it. And that could be an issue for a boy.
Never noticed it, Ox, to be honest. I think he's comfortable, both feet, good balance, good technique.
Good on the ball.
Good engine, aye, and he's doing well. I mean, he's still young. He's coming to a new country, and he's settled in pretty well, and he's hit the ground running. Aye, obviously, like you say, he tried something at the edge of the box against Motherwell, lost sort of control it, and it led to a goal. He's young, it's going to happen, Ox, but over the piece, I think he's been really good. I think he's probably finding it a wee bit tough now with the amount of games that he's played in a bounce, since he hadn't really played since end of November, according to the manager. But he's been working on his fitness to get him up, and obviously playing games helps. So you'll have to go again. But I think he's got everything, Ox. I think he's a really good player, and I think he'll get better and better once we get the more flair players back into our squad and into our team. I mean, you imagine him, you know, if we had Seamer fit and we had Cantwell firing the
Where would they play?
I think he was just sit and play, but he plays in beside Lundstrom at the moment. Aye.
Okay. Linda, it's something I just observed yesterday. I'm just saying to the boy that it's just something he's got to work on.
Yeah, do you think it's just a wee bit? I don't mean to say that he's frightened. Is he just not going up for the challenges then?
Particularly when it bounces, he doesn't like it. He backs away from it. But it is. It's like it finds the balls up in the air more in Scotland than it is on the grass. You know.
He's maybe worried he's going to get clattered, Ox, because let's just. He's as Southside said, he's had a really quick introduction to Scottish football. Not played a lot, and he's been thrown right in because he's not had the McClemont's not had really the people available to rest him or Lundstrom. You know, you touched on Ryan Jack there. We were hoping that he would get himself fit so that, that he could come in and give them a wee bit of a breather. But I like Diamandi, and one thing I think that he's bringing to the team that we were missing perhaps is he likes a shot, him and Tom Lawrence, and that's a great thing to have, Ox.
I didn't think Lawrence had a good game yesterday, if I'm being honest, Linda.
Yeah.
I'm not having a go at Diamandi. I thought he done all right yesterday, and he's trying to be brave and make hard passes. Sometimes he's trying to make things happen, which I like. I'm just critiquing something, Briggs, that I noticed in his game, and I noticed it before, and I noticed it again yesterday.
Yeah, Diamandi's he's got to learn, and what the Scottish game is. That's the gospel truth. That's basically what it is. Am I safe? First question he's asking when the ball's there and it's bouncing. It might not be a strong point, but if he's going to think safety first, I would imagine. And he's quite right, because Hibs were throwing themselves about and ladling out. I think Tom Lawrence was victimised a wee bit and really got some terrible tackles. Once again, the referee.
I thought he was poor. I just thought he was poor yesterday, Tom Lawrence. Anyway, we've been joined by Derek. How are we doing, Derek?
How you doing, Osman? Doing good, mate. How are you?
Good to hear from you, mate. How's things in your world?
Things are fine and looking great as far as I can see from a Rangers perspective.
Yeah. Building up, it's bubbling, isn't it? It's bubbling.
But come on, mate. I phoned you back in, I don't even know, with the Michael Beale time, I think it was, when we got humped up Aberdeen 3-1. And I was like, we're up. And look at us now.
What's your line, Derek? What's your line, mate?
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. Sure. I didn't mean it. Sorry. I'm very sorry. Mm-hmm. But there's a big change, and it's incremental. And one of the things we're losing is the ability to see the magnitude of the change, because it's so incremental. So it's happening gradually. So we beat one team, another team. But then we need to reflect back and say, look, this is where we were under Michael Beale. This is where we were with Clement. And it's been 6 months and it's incremental. But if you take that measuring stick and you measure it over 6 months, it's pretty significant, isn't it?
Yeah. Listen, there's somebody on this call thought we could still win the league. And I'll be honest with you, I thought he was mental. Southside.
Well, we've got to keep believing, mate. I did say they weren't as good as everybody thought.
You were consistent, and particularly.
And they're still no, I know, and I kept harping on it, you mate. But Derek, listen, he's done a fabulous job. Players always go by what they see in a manager, and they listen, and then they see how his work ethic is and how he presents himself and what he asks them to do, and then they watch it on the training pitch, and then they look to see if his system and what he's telling them is going to work. And it's worked for him for the minute he came in, and they all believe in him. They all see that he's got a vision and a story, as he told them to all buy into. The thing that I know he's keeping them all hungry. That's probably through choice, Derek, because of the amount of injuries that we've got in that whole squad throughout this whole season. But they've got a manager, a real manager, at the helm that knows what he's talking about, and that's what the players have responded to. Some have responded because they know their contracts are coming to an end and they might be looking for one. Other players, probably in their hearts that they're not going to get a contract, but some of them are still going out there, turning out and still trying for his, like Kemar Roof, for instance. Ryan Jack probably would if he could get himself fit. But it's been a massive change and a difference, but it's a mentality as well, Derek, I think, coming through the manager and the backroom staff onto the players. But once you see that what he was telling them and how he wants them to play, that it works and you get results for it, then they'll all buy into it. And that's something that Michael Beale couldn't do at the start of the season. And he, let's be honest, he talked a good game, obviously, but couldn't deliver, Derek.
But just one thing I want to say to that, mate, is like Southside is like mentality can only be installed in physicality if there's a physical player there to install it into. So my question is to you is like, they've got mentality, definitely, but like, how can you install mentality into Ryan Jack when he's injured all the time? How can you install mentality into Kemar Roof when he's injured all the time? How can you install mentality into players who didn't have the same, like, they're not like Tavernier or Goldson or Suter or Lundstrom, where they can just play every single game? how do you install mentality in the players who break like China dolls every time they go in the park? I'm not saying Ross McLaughlin because he played a fair few games, but mentality only works if you've got the physicality. Mentality is secondary to being a physical, hard-wearing Scottish player. How do you get mentality into players who break with hamstring problems like Jack? And like, what do you like? Should Jack get another contract? Should Roof get another contract?
I think
should. But like, what do you do with that?
I don't think we have to open that one up for debate, mate. I think that would be a ludicrous situation unless Kemar Roof plays the next 17 games and scores 17 goals. And then we might look at it differently. But for the amount of time he's been on the park, we like him. We've enjoyed some of his performances. But we shake hands and move on. Ryan Jack, marvellous signing. Gives us everything he's got. His time's at an end. His body can't keep up the intensity of the game, you know. But Linda, I think what he's done is, I don't know how he's done it or what he's done, but everything seems inclusive. Everybody seems in it together.
Yeah, because I think the players have spoken about that, Ox, haven't they? Even if you're not playing, and even if you're injured, they're all included in all the talks and actually, you know, learning about the way that Clement wants them to play. So they're all feeling very much involved. Whereas you got the impression before that if you weren't being played or you weren't involved, you were kind of I think a lot of them felt kind of like outcasts to a certain degree. So he has been very inclusive. But in terms of what you were saying there, Derek, about their physicality, he's talked about how the preparation wasn't right for the season, you know, and that's obviously the former manager's got a bit of responsibility around that as well, that they weren't set up to be durable, to be able to play like 3 games a week. So I think we might see a bit of a difference coming into next season, Derek, and it's all about their conditioning, isn't it?
Hello?
Yeah, on you go, Derek. On you go.
Right. So, I completely agree with that. And so my questions are around two players, about Silva and Sima. Like, so Silva's dad was saying that he would like him to stay beyond the end of the season to play another season at Rangers to try and get himself more goals and prominent in Europe and playing the Champions League. Sima, I don't know if we can afford, but a lot of these things that Clement says is like mentality, physicality, technicality, and the base thing that we've not really got to grips with is the fact that if your player's getting booted off the park and he's no resilient, he's no physically strong, there is no mentality, there is no technicality, there is no tactical, there's no nothing, because he's not playing and he's just taking 20 grand a week. And I'm just saying, like, when you're taking something like Sima, it's not his fault. He went to the AFCON thing and he got whatever happened there. But would you say, like, so just my question, I guess, which is like purple sky, will Silva get another extension here, and will Sima get bought? Is my two questions. I don't know the answer to either, and I'd like to ask you to.
I'll give you my take, then I'll bring Bridge in. I mean, obviously, you're talking about maybe arguably £50 million worth of players. Yeah.
2 players.
Yeah, 2 players, yeah. But the value that with the monies they've moved and transfers. And I don't know what wages they'll be on at their parent clubs because of that league. It's just crazy. There's a possibility they could come back to your club if they enjoy it and they want to be there and they're not getting games in it to develop. There's also a possibility we might strike a deal for Sima, depending on his wages. But it's there's a lot of pie in the sky there. Bridgman, when you come.
Yeah, the thing you're talking about there, you know, I don't know. For instance, say I want Rangers to buy whichever player, if they've got the money, whichever player they've got a number, they've got maybe 4 or 5 players that they could buy. They're out here in loans, and I don't know if by the end of the season they're still going to be A, available, and B, want to come to Rangers, because it's a tough club to come to and do the business. But yeah, I think some of the prices that they're going to ask are going to be quite high. And I listened to a wee interview with that boy Silva, and he thinks there's a deal to be done. That's what I think he said. I don't know whether any of you guys have seen it.
I don't think we need somebody else at the club Southside with their dads telling us how we should conduct our business. Huh?
No. Sima, Derek, I thought possibly we might be outpriced for him because I think they paid £8-9 million for him. If we could do another loan deal, possibly for another season, and Sima seems to be up for it, and then maybe do a deal then. If there's any way we could do something, then I'd be happy with that. If he goes on and does what he did at this start for when for what he was doing for when Clement came in and that, I'd like to have hoped that. But you'd have to see how he comes back after his injury and that, and see if he's going to progress the way he had been. So I'd be looking for that, but you would think we'll still be looking for Oscar Cortez as well. He plays sort of on the left, I think, where he's been playing him. So I think maybe that probably maybe another option as well.
If you could get Sima for $7.5 million or Cortez for $4.5 million, what would you take?
Well, we've got an option to buy Cortez, haven't we? I think that deal's done if everything works out. Yeah, you know, with Sima, we've not got any option, you know, but let's be honest, we've not seen enough of Cortez to fully judge him, the boy, yeah. So I think we've got to be honest. What we've seen as Sima, he gave you everything. He could score goals. He worked hard.
He's good.
So that night.
What if Cortez is like Kuhn or Palmer? But what I'm basically asking Southside is like, if you've got £7.5 million and you can get Sima
Cortez is like
or
who?
£4.5 million for Cortez.
Who did you say if Cortez is like who?
I'm saying Cortez could be like Kuhn or Palmer for Celtic.
Who?
Like
who
who are
they?
Exactly. Palmer was supposed to be on theirs.
I'm not going to warn you, but your line is again there.
Would it be better paying the extra bit of money for a guy? Like, would you pay £7.5 million for Sima, or £4.5 million for Cortez and save the £3 million for another player? Like, what would you do?
Oh, in a perfect storm, I would say that. I don't know what you think, Linda, but I think in the pecking order, what we've seen so far, Sima's ahead, but we've not seen enough of Cortez to judge. Yeah?
No, we've not seen enough of Cortez. I totally agree, but we have seen enough of Sima. I think he might have a year in his contract left, Ox. I think that's what I read somewhere. So there could be a deal to be done. But is it Brighton he plays for? They did pay, what was that, about 13-14 million for him. So they probably are going to maybe look for about 7 million. But based on what we've seen so far, if we could afford it, and it would come down to that, Cortez hasn't done enough, and we're unlikely to see him again before the end of the season, but we've seen enough of Big Sima, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I get your point, Derek, that Sima's ahead of him in the pecking order, Southside.
I'd like to have seen more of Cortez, Derek, and then I could have maybe give you a truer answer to that. Sima's obviously ahead of him. He worked hard. He's good at set pieces. He was good in both boxes. I think he had about 15 goals for us. He was playing well off the left at the time. But I like Cortez as well. He looks like he's not afraid. He'll just go and have a go at the fullbacks. He could have probably had a couple of more goals than what he had. And he was unlucky a couple of times at Kilmarnock on that night in that tricky surface before he ended up getting off injured. So I can't really judge Cortez now. I don't know what the club will do regarding that. Sima, I don't think he would get him for about 7 million, and I think maybe Brighton might look for more than that. Teams in England might look at him as well, and then he comes with a hefty pay packet. But I think he's keen in the move of coming to Rangers. I think he quite likes the idea, but it'll come down to the club and where we want to put our money in the summer and what Phil Clement wants to do. But I think he wants pace and power up front. So I think that's what we'll be looking at, players like that.
Can I just say that in the Scottish Ladies' Cup, we're drawn Celtic in the semi-final. Ties to be played the week of the 27th of April. That's the Women's Cup. The men's cup will come after the Hearts game, which is sitting still level at half time, so it could go the full way and extra time. But if the draw comes out before we're finished, we'll let everybody know. But good luck to the ladies in their semi-final of the Scottish Cup. Right, there it is. It's all hypothetical. It's what the manager wants, and ultimately, even if the manager wants, it'll be whether the players want to come. Yeah,
I agree with what you're saying, but I'm not going to start high-fiving the league. Let's say we win the league and we're going to the Champions League and we're going to this new format. You need SEMA, and if they have £40 million in the bank, they should buy them. I don't know. There's no point talking about this because it's hypothetical, and we get here every season, and we've been here with Malik Tillman and other players exactly like him, and Cortez is injured to the end of the season. He's a hypothetical, like Hadji was a hypothetical. Rangers have dealt in hypotheticals. We need to get rid of potential. We need to lose the mindset that there's potential in players who didn't perform, and we need to start thinking about players who actually did perform. SEMA actually does perform, and he's actually worth the money. Cortez will never know, and there's no point gambling. I'd rather put that £4.5 million halfway towards buying SEMA.
But what happens if SEMA doesn't come back for injury in the form he was in?
He definitely will, mate. I know what you're saying. So you got let's take who's the young lad that's in the B team that was supposed to be playing at Ross McCausland's place.
What's that?
Lovelace, aye.
Yeah.
So how does this work with injury? So he's ripped he's done his hamstring. He does it again, and he's young. And does that mean that it's weakened and he's continually going to have this problem, a bit like Roof, where it's just going to plague him through his career? But with someone like SEMA, he's resilient, robust, up for it. I just think that injury history. Do we have a scientist? Do we have a medical staff that can look at injury history and determine whether that thing replagues players? And if so, what's the probability and how do we do that? But if SEMA looks like he's going to recover fully and has a good career, I'd sooner put that £4.5 million and half his transfer fee than gamble on a guy called Cortez. I'd sooner get that boy back in.
But how do you know that? What happens if the first game back he gets a Danilo injury? With his head?
Smashed in the face?
Aye.
Well, smashed in the face is fine. You don't have to worry about that because it's your legs you worry about as a football player. So you can get smashed in the face all day long. But if you're talking about a Danilo injury, where you're talking hypothetical, like Barry Ferguson.
There's no guarantee.
We're talking about
the point I'm making is there's no guarantees, mate. You never know.
In football, that's the thing. That's why the badges go up so high and so low. It's you don't know. Nobody knows. But I'm just saying, based on Michael Beale and Philippe Clement, he performed under both of them, and one was an arsehole. One was a bad manager, and one was a good manager, and he played well under both and both systems. I'm just saying that if there's any chance that we can afford this guy, it would be. He's a Rangers player, man. He loves the club, and we love him. If we can afford him, we should pay for him.
You've also got to remember his start under Beale. I mean, he scored the goal against PSV Southside.
Yeah,
he scored a wonder goal, and up until that point, people were thinking, "What have we got here?" And then he sort of just grew into the jersey a bit, and he started scoring goals. And then under Clement, he took his work rate to a new level, didn't he?
Aye, definitely. Michael Beale built a squad that was going to play different for what Clement's now wanting to play and adapt into the squad. And I think he's looking for us to play at a higher tempo. Derek, and I think he's looking for us all to be working hard off the ball in a shape. We don't give up many chances now. If you look at it, even under Michael Beale, we gave up a lot more chances. Tav got exposed a lot more and under previous managers because of the way he played. Clement's put a different style in, but he needs the fitness and he needs a work rate and his players to be durable. But I think if they'd all had a good pre-season, I think a lot more players might have been a bit stronger for him for when he's had to come in to now. But they are. Football's played at a higher pace, Ox, would you agree? You know, we done a lot of running on the Thursday night after the ball against a team who wanted to keep a lot of possession. And in Europe, you'll have to do a lot of running, and the parts were heavy that night, and the rain was heavy. It was a hard shift, and then you're asking them to go again. So maybe because we're picking up muscle injuries and stuff like that is because he's wanting us to work at a higher tempo. The games are coming thick and fast, and if you've had a couple of hard shifts, you're going to pick up these strains and muscle injuries. Other type injuries you talk about, face knocks and that, are unavoidable. They'll come along, but it's the muscle injuries and the knocks that we're picking up. I think it's due to football has got higher intensity than what it was a few years back. You need to be more like an athlete. If you look at everybody down south, they're all athletes more or less. You don't need to be a great football player, but if you can run and do certain things right, you can make a career with it.
A successful career. Yeah, but listen, there's no guarantees. It's difficult to see where you could spend your money because, you know, I've not seen enough of Cortez Bridge, but Big Seema, he's one we know has got a tremendous attitude. Bridge?
Yeah, I think Seema was a smashing player, and he ran his heart out up and down the pitch, covered every inch, and obviously saw him making clearances. Goodness knows what, you know, sometimes getting in the way, but he was back there, and great pace going forward, and created some good chances for players and took them himself, scored some goals. Cortez, well, unfortunately for Cortez, took this injury, so I don't know when we're going to see Cortez. We don't know when we're going to see Seema, but hopefully Seema will be back and show us what he was able to do, and maybe hopefully recover well. Because that puts him in he's going to be in the short window for sure if he comes back from injury. If not, I don't think we'll be even interested in him. But Cortez, he's a smashing player. He's going to be a big star for us if we buy him. Obviously, it's up to management and how badly injured is he going to be? Is it just a knock, or was it just a hamstring or whatever? You know, how bad was it? These are the best. Seema, I did like Seema. I do like Seema, should I say? And I think he was a breath of fresh air for Rangers. And I know it took him a wee while to get his first goal and so on and so forth, but he got it. And my goodness gracious, a smashing player.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's going to be an interesting summer, but listen, Derek, we've got a lot of things coming. Potentially, what is that? We've got potentially 6 more ties in Europe if it all goes to plan, and 2 in the Scottish Cup and 9 league games left. 17 games, and before we can start talking about who we're going to sign, because we can't do anything to the window and who goes, who leaves, who we re-sign, how much budget, where we finish, how much prize money we get. All these decisions will influence who you sign, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree. Like, I don't know what you're saying. You have to play it game by game. And
what did you make of yesterday's game?
Can I be honest?
Aye.
I thought it was a bowler-fest, and I think we deserve to win. And it's just a dirty bowler-fest, and I didn't really want to reflect on it, but I didn't enjoy the game. I didn't enjoy the performance. I just thought it was boring, and like, I'm hoping that they were tired and that's the only performance we were putting against Benfica on Thursday. But I genuinely thought it was just a dirty SPFL bowlerfest, and I hope that's not what we're putting up on Thursday.
I think part of the problem is, and Southside can chip in with us, you play these teams that often now, mate, and that takes a part, that makes it even more boring, if I'm being honest, Southside. Yeah.
Aye, it certainly does. We've got them in a few weeks again at Ibrox, I believe, haven't we? So coming up before the splits. But if you get them in the cup, it's bad enough playing 4 times a season, and then you get a few in the cup. It was one of the games, Derek. Listen, after a European night, if you look back, we had a bad result against Motherwell. We put in a great performance against Benfica. We done enough yesterday to get the result. No, maybe a great performance. So hopefully we'll have something to look forward to, about a far better performance on the Thursday night, mate, looking forward. But you just want to get it out of the line, Derek. If it's a league game or a cup game, you just want to get it over the line, and we're into a semi-final, expecting to get to this final. So that's what we've got to look forward to, mate.
It was no worse than the Celtic. It was no worse than the Celtic Livingston game. And I'm not saying that we didn't perform. Like, I'm just saying it was just a tired performance. I just hope that, well, we know we will perform on Thursday better, but when you watch the Celtic Livingston game, like they won it doing a whole deal more than what we did, and it was just one of the dirty games that we had at Easter Road, and you take the result and you move on. But what do you think is going to happen on? So my question is, like, we're looking forward to Thursday. We've only got 2 games left.
Derry, what I think is going to happen, just hang fire and we'll come back to it, mate. Because I'll tell you what's going to happen now. We're going to have a tune. Get yourself on mute and we'll come right back to you, mate, right?
Okay.
As we go marching down the Paisley Road, the west, the doors and the windows open wide, you will hear the people cheer, the Glasgow Rangers boys are here. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. Blue is the colour, football is the game. We're all together, Glasgow Rangers is our name. For we are the best team in all Scotland, and Glasgow Rangers is our name. So bring on the Celtic, your Hibs and Aberdeen, your Dundee United, we're the best you've ever seen. We play hand on heart, God save the Queen. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. As we go marching down the Paisley Road west, the doors and the windows open wide, you will hear the people cheer, the Glasgow Rangers boys are here. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. Blue is the colour, football is the game. We're all together, Glasgow Rangers is our name. For we are the best team in all Scotland, and Glasgow Rangers is our name. So bring on the Celtic, your Hibs and Aberdeen, your Dundee United, we're the best you've ever seen. We play hand on heart, God save the Queen. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. It's Glasgow Rangers for me.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
All right, and you come, Derek. Make your point, mate.
A couple of points. Butland for England, definitely. I hope the guy gets his position for the national team, and he definitely deserves it, to be honest. And beyond that, it's Thursday against Benfica, and I guess my question to you is, like, what kind of starting lineup are we looking at, given that?
I've been told to turn up with my books. I've been told to turn up with my books at 4:30, Derek.
So can you give me your, like, what you seeing at the front of the park, given that fucking given that Sterling and McCausland, like, what you seeing at the top 4?
We don't know that yet. If you're assuming the 2 of them are out, I think for me, the right hand side becomes a problem, because obviously you could play Dessers and Silver, and that's your left and your centre. It has been the last few games. And then it's who you play. If you play Tom Lawrence in the number 10 role, if you like, and sitting between the middle, I don't know what you think, Linda. But then this right hand side, this problem position becomes an issue.
Yeah, it's a major concern if Sterling and McCausland can't play a part at all. When Matondo came on, he came on the left, on the right, didn't he? I know he's better on the left-hand side, but and normally Clement doesn't like to play players right from the start when they've come back from an injury. So what's Matondo been out about a month now? But he might not have any choice. I mean, I don't know if there's any of the younger players that could maybe play a part up front, Ox, because obviously, as we said earlier there, Zach Lovelace, well, we're just hoping that he might start to feature.
Yeah, that's him.
I don't know if Cantwell's anywhere near Ox, but again, he's not going to throw him in. Whether or not he might make the bench, I don't know.
Do you think there's any chance Southside, before we bring in Big Stevie quickly, and then Bridge can chip in? Do you think there's any chance he could play Roof and Dessers
on Thursday night?
Aye.
My thinking is we're going to have to refresh this team. It depends on how we're going to. Listen, we're not going to control this game on Thursday night for 90 minutes. You'd like to think we'll have a good part of possession against them at Ibrox, but if we don't, then that team's going to be doing a lot of running ups. The team's going to have to run like they did on Thursday night, and it's no nice to say because we're at home at Ibrox, but unless we keep control of the possession and dominate them for large spells of the game, they will get on that ball and pass like they have been doing. And then it'll come down to if we don't put a dominant performance in on Thursday night and control a lot of the possession, if the boys are running about a lot, then it comes to refreshing the team. How do you going to bring on? You'll have to look to see who you've got on the bench to bring in. So I don't think some of the players will have the full 90 minutes in them, or even 65 minutes, including Matondo. Even if you stuck him on a wing to do a full shift, you'll have to change it. I think the team's more or less the team that played it against them last week. If Sterling and McCausland don't make it, then you'll have to fill somebody on the right. Whether you bring Raskin into midfield and move Tom Lawrence wider, could Cantwell come back, but probably for the amount of game time he's not had, he probably wouldn't fling him in case he breaks down.
That's a good point. You could have Raskin beside Lundstrom, Diamandi forward, and Lawrence on the right.
Aye. Or if the worst came to the worst and you really wanted to gamble, the only other one I could think is, David, you want, put the young boy in and just put him into the right-hand side and hope that when we're on the ball, he creates, and when he's not on the ball, that he works back hard. He'll be full of energy and effort and desire. He'll be fresh, but it's a massive, massive game to fling him into. So you might use him off the bench to refresh when he has to, like he did last week, Ops.
All right, we've been joined by Big Stevie, who's popped in. Evening, big man.
Oh, Ox, how you doing, mate? All right.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm as rough as toast, man. Oh.
No, I take it that's a viral infection you've got and nothing self-inflicted.
No, I wished I could say it was a viral infection. It's actually alcohol poisoning. I don't know what the hell I was drinking. Anyway. Oh, honestly. Is my wingman there?
How you doing, Biggin? I'm sure I thought I had to take you up the road, but I'm glad somebody else decided to take you up the road for me.
Oh, Chambers arms up. He struggled for an hour trying to get me up a close. What was I going to say? Was the bus driver all right? Aye.
You know his cup of tea, mate. He's not too happy with you. I don't know if you're getting a domestic ban for Dundee. I know I'm working hard to try and alleviate that, right? But
is that someone else's ban for Southside?
Well, listen, see if you're going to, I'll just be quickly, I don't even know if I should be sharing this, but see if you're going to bring something with you, make sure that when you come on with it doesn't burst, right? And then see later if you need it in an emergency, like, because you can't go to the toilet to be sick, right? He grabs the bag with a hole in it and thought he was just, that's all right, boys, I've got a bag, and the flare, mate, it was, and then used the guy 2 rows down, sitting, his Tammy was sitting there, and he used that to clean up the flare, man. But the driver still wasn't happy, mate. Honestly, he wasn't happy.
Oh, anyway, stop the boat. What was I going to say? That was it. The bag you gave me was like one out Fred West's house. Stairs fell at it. Oh, But anyway, look, I'm on to say, well done, the Rangers. That was a hard tie during the week now into the Capitol. And I thought the boys done a professional job. They never get caught up in their game. They try to get in with a boot and lower us to their game, and we never get involved in it. And well done to the Teddy Bears. It was an absolute pleasure on the bus with all the boys, and I could carry on. But it was good to get into the next round of the Cup. I thought we'd done it well, and I thought, I'm catching up, Ox, with some of the patter for the BBC, but I'm not want to upset Bridge, but what a lot of toss. It was never a yellow card. It was never a penalty. It was, dearie me.
I'll let Linda come in. I think she wants to have a quick comment on some of the commentary for yesterday. Linda?
Aye, unfortunately, Stevie had to listen to a certain co-commentator, and it wasn't on our TV, it was on the other channel, and he made an absolute fool of himself, Stevie. It was embarrassing for him. It really was. It was just terrible that you've got to listen to it, Stevie. It really is.
Linda, it's terrible that he's got to embarrass it. His hate gets the better of him. Yeah. His hate gets the absolute. We knocked him back, and he's never forgiven us for saying he's no good enough. And his hate for Rangers just makes him look so stupid. He's the only guy in the country that thinks it was a penalty kick. Everybody who plays football at any decent level knows in that situation, all you've got to do is get in front of the defender. Correct? Absolutely. Everybody knows that. You know, as soon as you nip in front of that defender and he touches you at all, you're done. It's a penalty kick. Everybody knows it. That guy doesn't it? He's an absolute sausage supper. But anyway, listen, I'm just going to apologise to my wingman, and I'm glad he's getting things sorted out. I swore I was to get back to any more away games. I can't do it anymore. Bouncing about like 16-year-old eating chopped pork rolls and taking shots through your eyeball and all that. You can't do it anymore. I can't do it.
I think you traumatised the driver when you had your tap off down the front of the bus. I think that was more what it was, mate. But I'm sure we'll sort it out with him.
You think it was a stag party? I was away to run all the way to see the Rangers, really?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Listen, it's just a question for you on what the bad person was saying when anti-Rangers things. To be honest, if that had been Hibs player running through and it's the same thing happened, then I'm quite sure he would have said it would be a penalty. It's just simple.
100%.
For me, same as that.
100%, Bridge. Listen, we all know about the propaganda against the Rangers, their hate. They move the goalposts all the time. And listen, we don't fall for it, Bridge. Me and you've been trying to keep the punters wide for years and years and years about certain things, the BBC and that. We can see it a mile away. Some people can't. There's other people that are just, they're too laid back, Rangers fans, and there's ones that aren't there, and we're the ones that aren't there, unfortunately. But listen, well done, the Rangers. Well done, Big Phil. I'll tell you what he's got that team fighting. He's got that team fighting and believing. And no matter, my front four probably on Thursday night would be Matondo on the right, Silva on the left, Deserts in the middle with Lawrence playing at the number 10 role. And then your midfield take care of itself, doesn't it? So, anyway, troops, over now. I love yous and leave yous. I'll let you. Ox, thanks for letting me on, old pal, because I've got to do a bit of creeping with my wingman there. I've left him in a bit of a situation. Okay.
Oh, I've been speaking to people all day and apologising. I usually have to apologise before you go. Now I'm apologising after you went.
I've left a total trail of destruction. My neighbours have fell out with me and everything. Apparently I went home and I pulled the flute out. So there you go. Anyway, listen, I'm looking forward to doing it on next Sunday. Right, over and out, folks. Keep it going. The best platform on the planet. An absolute free platform for the Teddy Bears to come on and voice their opinion. Come on, get the place phone. Over and out.
We booked an Airbnb. We have in Dublin, Southside.
I don't know how he passed the bus alcohol monitor anyway in the way on, man. I was astonished that he actually passed him and he allowed him on. But aye, no, it was a cracking day, mate. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a good laugh, let's say. Eventful.
All right. What happens in tour stays in tour, Linda?
Absolutely. I was going to say Southside could have his own YouTube channel on his excursions with Stevie, but I think it might be taking off Aerox. But sounds good, Southside anyway.
Well, you get with him every day's an adventure, isn't it? So, Southside.
Oh, aye. Top banana bit, so yes, he's a top banana. But it was a good laugh.
Yes. Right. Right. Sorry, we digressed there. We digressed. Where were we? Aye, we'll just have to see what it takes us this season, Derek, yeah?
Aye, well, I spoke to you when Michael Beale was there and we were all feeling depressed, and this is where we are now. So, don't know what to say, but like Benfica on Thursday, Dundee, and then if we win both those games, that's a perfect season, is it not?
It's shaping up to be special, put it that way. It's shaping up to be special, you know, because the games, 17 games to go, but into this week, Linda, then Bridge can chip in. We've got 15 games left, still a lot of football to be played, but in 3 different competitions. It's unbelievable. Linda.
It's quite remarkable, absolutely. We would never have thought that. I know Southside thought we still had a chance, and you had to believe, but I think after the Aberdeen defeat, we just thought it's going to be another season where we're going to be, rebuilding, playing catch up again. So, as I said, remarkable, and what the manager Clement has had to deal with in terms of all these solutions he has had to keep finding. Ox, it's actually quite exciting, even thinking about getting into the summer and then the new season. I know we've got to just calm our jets with that, but if he can get his own some more of his own players in and get them better prepared, then who knows what he could achieve going forward.
That'll be interesting. We're all looking forward to as he builds his own team, because this manager is just maybe the question is, Bridgeman, this manager's got the fear of God in him all, because he's got something about him, hasn't he?
Well, I think he's got to put the fear of God into every single team in Scotland. But certainly from a player's perspective, absolutely. He just has something about him, and everybody's so proud. All the Rangers fans so proud he's a manager, and we want him to get everything he asks for. He asks for something from the board, he goes and gets it. They should go out their way to give him it. He's making something happen for Rangers, and what opportunities we have now. What opportunities we have in front of us, insofar as Europe, insofar as Scottish Cup, as far as the league, all of these things, can possibly make it happen. But obviously we can see somewhere along the line we're going to have to maybe plug gaps for the youngsters or something like that. But this is a guy that can help it, but can do it for us. Seriously, I hope we must back him. Everybody must back him. Every Rangers fan must back him. Irrespective of what happens, we must back him.
Southside, I never thought I would say this, but I actually think he's going to be good for us when international break comes.
Aye, we certainly need it. And players, I'd hope Jack Buckland gets a wee boost and gets a call-up into their squad, but Tav will get plenty of rest for that extra week, so will Golson, because they're never usually picked for international duty, same with Lundstrom. And they've been the mainstay players that he's had to rely on for durability. And no rotate them. So it'll be good for them to get the breakouts, and hopefully we'll maybe get 1 or 2 back after it. But we need to go full out Thursday, Sunday. Sunday will be the hard one as well. It's all right talking about Thursday, but the Sunday game will be really important. That's a league game, 12 o'clock kick-off or something, and that's when you've got to grind it out again. So, but aye, 2 massive games coming up for the club. It's exciting, isn't it? It's something really to look forward to.
Aye, did you see it coming? I know you said, look, we can catch him, we go on a run. You've been proved right in a lot of respects, but you never seen this coming, did you?
I was hoping we would be. I hoped, like I kept saying to people, maybe by the time we go to play them at Ibrox, we'd get them that day, and that'd be enough, and then we'd be top of that league, because we could see we were on a run. We had the momentum. And I just thought they're just going to drop points as they go along, and just usually we just help them in seasons going by with dropping points the same week. But we kept the momentum going. We should have probably done better when we went up there, but we know we can rectify that. We're 2 points clear now. Europe surprised me. I thought at the time when we get beat off that Cypriot mob, we might have put ourselves in a bit of harm there. But listen, they went there and we turned it round and we tapped the group and gave us that extra bit of breathing space until now. It's just unfortunate that we've got a lot more injuries now. Midfield had it, now we've got it more or less. Strikers were struggling now, and we're just struggling on the wings now. But we'll just have to listen. The players are hungry. They want to play. They want to do well for the manager. They can see what's in front of them. So it's just about just trying to do that extra bit again, Ox. And so far, so good. But he's patching it together, and it's getting his results.
It's been remarkable, Derek, isn't it?
I'd say so, and but we're in a position where we're not pulling out like massive performances where we're completely dominating teams. I'd say we're a kind of weirdo team that kind of we're weirdly winning. We're getting results because we're top heavy. So I fancy, I don't know if you'd agree, so I'm going to go 2-0 against Benfica on Thursday and 4-0 against Dundee. And that's us wrapped up, and hopefully we get some players back. But I remember us talking to you all the way back then when we had Michael Beale and the Aberdeen result and where we are now and in the last day of Europe, hopefully, and top of the league. I don't know, what do you think that this, I'm not going to get the quadruple, but like, what do you feel? What's a good end of the season for Rangers? A triple in the last 4 Europe?
Once we if we do, and it's still an if, because you're playing against a decent side, Benfica, a different level for who we usually play.
So long as we don't get Liverpool, we're fine.
If we do get through Linda, Sunday becomes massive, and you're in the quarterfinals. You'll start believing, and that Airbnb that we've got for 44 people.
Unless we get Liverpool. Nay Liverpool.
Well, we can't avoid. We'll take whoever if we get there. We'll see where it comes. But Sunday, just be south side pod to do it, Linda. Benfica's massive. Once that's done, all the focus is Dundee.
Definitely, it's almost. I know the European run has been another terrific run, and when you think it's absolutely amazing. The Champions League group that we had, and we didn't do well in that. But look at that group; it was like the group of death. But other than that, our European runs since when Gerrard came in have been fantastic. We've put ourselves and Scotland on the map, the coefficient, everything. We've talked about it before. We give the club credit for it as fans. I still don't think they get enough credit across Scottish football, but that's another debate. But for me, actually, the bigger game probably is Sunday. I still want us to do well on Thursday, Ox, but Sunday for me is the one that I really want to win. And yeah, anything can happen in Europe, but Derek was saying what would a successful season look like for us. I want to win the league. I just think that would be an unbelievable achievement considering where we were when Clement came in. But I'm being greedy, and the 4 of them would do nicely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Listen, it's going to be exciting. It might not always go over in my bridge, but it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, it's hollyhocks for the next 2-3 months. It's exciting now. Any Rangers fan will tell you. Okay, sometimes you're dreading going, don't do anything wrong, blah blah blah, like your mother will give you. So all these things can absolutely ruin your day. But we've got this, as I said a couple of minutes ago, we've got a fabulous opportunity for this club and this team. What the wonderful chances we've got now in 3 or 4 different areas to make things happen. And my goodness gracious, I hope we do it. Not 3 different matches. I'm sorry, not I said 4. But we only get ourselves, and nobody else going to support us only ourselves. Fans will keep the players going if necessary on the park, but the players have to do their bit, and the manager will try to make sure that happens, and the board needs to back everything. I really believe that sincerely. We have got one wonderful opportunity over the next 3 months. Rangers Football Club, my club, and our
all right, mate. All right. Well, we enjoyed the Big Al, evening, big man.
All right, gentlemen, how are you? I just heard the battle cry for Big Stevie, so I thought I'd phone in, get the numbers up.
How we doing, mate? I know I've missed you.
Aye, have you missed me? I miss you too, big man.
Thank you, mate. Thank you, mate.
Generally, I do. It's nice. I maybe get to see you later this year. Anyway,
I hope so, mate. You keep us informed, general, mate.
Aye. Yeah. No worries, man. No worries. But a wee bit of housekeeping. First, I was just wanting to ask Big Southside. Southside, is that your game? I see at the Flags.
No.
Is that your
flag? I see the game.
Aye. No, it's just that I'm bamboozled with the big handsome guy behind it, because everybody tells me you're not that pretty, so I was, you know what I mean?
Oh, is that right? Shouldn't you listen to everybody, mate?
No.
I'll see you when you turn up. If you're coming here, Biggin, I'll turn up and see you. It'll be a pleasure to meet you, Biggin.
I'll come and find you. Don't worry. I'll have a few days down. I'll be come and find you. Don't worry about that.
Oh, he does
so
that.
That's not your flag. Yeah, that's not your flag.
Me did, didn't he?
No, mate. It's not my flag, no.
I used track me down. But I remember speaking to Bridge the night before, and then Fox tracked me down a minute. I think did he have one of the GPS things on my coordinates?
Aye, Fox.
And then you gave us a phone call. That was a great day. It was a great day. Can I go back to the SEMA thing and just the player recruitment thing? Look, personally myself, he's were dragging in and out when I heard it. But are we looking to maybe a 7 million, 8 million pound fee for SEMA? Is that what the ballpark?
I think that's maybe conservative. Oh, yeah, that's not a word I use a lot.
Yeah, right. Okay, so we're talking a wee bit more than. Well, my thought behind it was SEMA. I think he's shown enough. I know the injury thing, and that's the chance you take. That's like life in general. But if you could get that guy for your 8 million quid, I mean, who would you rather have, him or Ryan Jack? Ryan Jack. Ryan Kent. We sent £7 million on Ryan Kent, meant to be. I mean, I think SEMA, to me, he plays with a smile on his face. He looks a lot more dangerous. I think he gets us a wee bit more than Ryan Kent ever did. So I would go all out, because that's the type of player, as we keep saying, we need to be taken to the next level. I think SEMA's that type of player that takes us to. He'd be cracking in our domestic competition, but I think in the European games, I think he takes us closer to what we aspire to be. So I think if you could get him for that would be great. Now, I'm really enjoying Silva. What's the chances we can get him, even if it's on another year's loan? Because what I'm kind of afraid of is we have this excellent season and then we downgrade.
You downgrade. Aye, I get it, mate.
That's what's really frustrating.
In the first half of the show, we discussed some of that, but I'll let Linda come in with her something for Linda.
Oh, hello, Linda.
Hello, Al. How are you?
Yeah, I'm excellent. I'm much better for hearing your dulcet tones.
Oh, that's nice of you. No,
I still can't find your OnlyFans page.
No, it's hidden.
I'll send you a link, Al.
No, there you go. Ox has got everything, Al, don't you?
Aye. He says he told me once where he works, but I'm sure he works what's it, Central Intelligence HQ thing.
CIA.
No, not the CIA, that I-5s and all that, the Pinkertons. He's one of the Pinkertons, I think.
All right, yeah, I see what you mean. Aye. But see, Silva, I would agree with you, Al. I've enjoyed watching him as well, and he's chipping in with the goals now. Maybe another loan season, Al. Yeah, definitely. The point you made about the downgrading is really quite relevant, because when we won 55, we didn't seem to press on from there, Al, didn't we not? But it all come down to the finances, because say, for example, you did go and get Seema for even the 7 or 8 million. I mean, I wonder how much the manager will have, Al, and that could be maybe even half his budget, won't it? So,
I think you would agree. A 7 and 8 million late for the moment. I mean, you get 2 or 3 good seasons out of Seema, and he produces in the European stage and the domestic platform. We're selling him on again. So, I mean, I think there's deals that can be done, you know what I mean? We're gaining on the platform, and we're giving another club that maybe owns a player, or we have 50% stake in him, or however the deal's done, that they've got to sell on, we got to sell on. It benefits everybody in the long run. But it's really, we've been saying it for so long, we need players to take us to the next level. And they 2 players I think we've mentioned really do, I believe, take us to the next. I mean, see the footwork of that when he cut back the other night there, that Silva, he took it and his foot floated over the ball and he cut it back in again. You know what I mean? Wonderful play, really nice to watch.
Aye, he's got ability and he's so young, you know, and they're good footballers, him and Seema, different kind of players. But
yeah. But you need that variety, don't you?
Aye, what do you make of the manager, Al? What do you make of the manager?
Aye. I like the manager. I think he's the type of guy. Look, I meant to say that I've got an old guy that I'm working with. I speak to him in the wet mess at night. Old Alec. He's been out here 40 years. Big blue nose. I've gave him your number. When he goes in his arm, he said he's going to phone in. So if you're listening, Alec, me and him have been listening a couple of weeks ago and all that. He's the same. And I said to him, I says, he just reminds me of a BB officer. You're going to call him sir 20 years down the line. You know what I mean? So, you know, he has that respect thing. And I think you can actually see that with interviews. I think the stupid questioning managers and the media kind of, it seems to stop.
I don't. Is it you? Are you banging about there, Biggie, or is it somebody?
No,
else?
That's not me. That's not me. No.
You stop the banging or put your phone on.
I'll be Bridge in the biscuit tin.
No, we can't blame Bridge this time. We can't blame him. No, he's not guilty. You know.
Nah, I like the manager.
Aye, he's got something about him. He's got the X factor about him. And I think we all gave you that. But it was interesting. It's interesting how it's going to pan out. Are you getting excited yet, Al?
I'm not quite there yet. Like I just want to the European format that deals with itself. What happens will happen there. But the league guy, we just need to. We're turning the screw every game. We had a wee bit of a setback against Motherwell. That probably wasn't a bad thing. It allows you to take stock of. You might be getting a wee bit ahead of yourself. It allows the manager to take stock. It allows him to see what players he can trust, he can't trust, and it allows the players just to be brought back down onto the ground level again, so they're not getting carried away. So I think that wasn't a bad thing. It was a wonderful weekend, wasn't it? So it didn't. That kick in the clacker didn't really cost us anything, so it worked out fine.
Aye. So when will you start getting excited? After the international break, if we're still on all these competitions, mate?
No, the day we win it, I'll be excited. I save it all up for then and I just explode. That's what my wife says to me, but anyway. I'll wait for 3 weeks at a time.
So I'll let you answer that one, mate.
Like we all will, mate. We'll all be looking forward to it, but it's to get there first, you know. Listen, the game on Thursday night, as I said earlier, we're hoping to have a lot of possession in the game. We're at home, but if we have to give up possession at times, if that's the way the game goes, then we'll have a lot of running today, Big Al. You know, we'll need to work hard after the ball. David, we done last week, you know. But at home, I'm hoping that we'll have more possession and we'll create more chances. If we can get an early goal, it will change the whole dynamics of the game, hopefully. But you need to get that second, because at 1-0, it's not going to be a good watch for the 90 minutes. I think we'll be under pressure at times. You know,
I think we go into that game. We're at home. We've got the crowd behind us, and I think a lot of us are forgetting as well. It was two our own mistakes, or we were winning that game 2-0. You know what I mean? It was our own mistake, so we can look at ourselves. I mean, I didn't think. I mean, I'm not no offence. Di Maria, he's an all right player. He wasn't. He's not in the top 10 greatest players his age. Hang with that Gwendolyn or whatever his name. What's his name? Was he at Man City?
Aye.
Oh man.
Aye. I mean, same again. So I think we can get at the players. You seen the young boy Cole McKinnon? He says, I was on the park with him. I used to watch him on the TV. He says, but I've got a job to do. I think that attitude's brilliant. And that's a young guy coming on. So I don't fear them. I think they'll worry about us because they know it was their two mistakes that got them back in the game. It wasn't their attack. It wasn't their shots on goals. It wasn't their goals.
Aye, I get it. So what you're saying is they'll be as worried about us as we are about them, if no more.
Of course they will be.
Aye.
Well, are we really worried about them?
I just think that we know that they've got some decent players, mate. Yeah, and it's a level above what we play most weeks. That's all I would say, yeah.
But who are the decent players? Is that what we're saying, Di Maria and that?
No, I think a collective. They've got players that can hurt you, mate. Yeah, let's be honest.
They've got a good midfield. There's a young boy who's good in the midfield for them. The striker up front looks quite dangerous. They're a good team. Listen, we can beat them at Ibrox. I know we can beat them. Of course, we can beat them at Ibrox, but I just think there might be spells in the game where we'll not have the ball and we'll have to make sure that we're tracking runners and we're shutting down. We can't get lazy. We've got a squad that's running probably on empty, Big Al now, and if Sterling and McCausland don't make it, we're asking the same squad of players, I believe, to go again. But you know, so hopefully on the night we'll get the right result, but I think it'll be a hard game. But I'm sure that we'll get there.
I'll cut across you, fine gentlemen. We'll be joined by our Robert. Evening, Robert.
Evening, Oxford, Brisbane, Southside, Linda. And I've missed part of the show. Kept cutting out. Big Al, I can hear Big Al in the background. Evening, Al.
Hi, Robert. Evening.
And anybody else that's on the show.
Aye, there's issues. Facebook, it's no our issue, Robert. It's no our issue. Carry on, mate.
Right. Listen, I'm obviously a happy bear with the result last night. No happy with the performance. I thought, if I'm being honest, it was dross. I gave them a 6 out of 10, and that's me being kind. I thought we couldn't pass the ball or anything last night. But you know what? We're through, and that's the most important thing. I feel for Big Phil, and I don't mean, I'm not going to criticise him here, because I've got a wee question I want to put to you all, and I don't mean to criticise him. It might come across that way, but I do feel for him, because I think these injuries are now going to catch up on us, guys. I'm sorry, I really worry about Thursday, because they're a good team, and I'm listening to what you are saying. No, we don't fear them, and nor we should fear them. And they don't fear us. I believe they arrested 5 players there at the weekend. Don't know if that's true or no. That's how serious they're taking it, and they're a good team. But I think now that Sterling's going to be missing, and that boy is absolutely superb. What a player, by the way, we've got in that boy Sterling, and he's going to be missing by the looks of it, and McCausland's going to be. Let's be honest, who are we going to play? We're struggling to put a team at the end Thursday, and that's my worry, Oxford. That's my worry going into Thursday. We're going to struggle to put out a team.
Southside, and then Bridge.
We spoke about it earlier, Robert. You could have Raskin coming in, and you could have Monday going up one. You could have Lawrence slightly going on to the right. It's probably the right side we need to plug. I think the team will be the same team that played last Thursday, apart from if Sterling doesn't make it and McCausland's no fit. Then we need to plug somebody on the right-hand side. But we still have to have players to bring on later on in the game, Robert. We will have to refresh it. And that's when that's when it'll come down to Clement to make that decision. Who's he going to play on the right? Do you take a gamble on Cole McKinnon and say, well, wee man, let's go in and play the right side, keep the shape, track back and hope that he does. It's a massive game to come into. He'll be full of enthusiasm, effort, and he'll have desire. He might blow after 10 minutes and be absolutely shattered. You don't know, but we need to plug probably the right-hand side. But I think the team will be the team that started in Lisbon against them. You know, I don't see it changing, Robert. More or less the same team that started yesterday. I thought he might have left Sterling out yesterday, probably with having a Ingme, but he has an impact in the game. He gets his first penalty, so you could probably say he's right by picking him, but we don't know how bad it will be. But they're running on empty at the moment, Robert, and they need a rest. And
Southside, that's the question. Southside, that's the question. You're saying we have to bring on players to fill in later on in the game, but who have we got that are going to make an impact? Let's be honest, Ruth is a mile off it. If we start with Rabbi Matondo, let's be honest, he's playing at 70% fit, and that's not having a go at Rabbi Matondo. But these players are coming in, they're no fit, they've hardly kicked a ball, and we've got to be honest about it. We're playing against a decent team here. Let's not kid ourselves. We get an incredible result on Thursday, and I'll be honest with you, before that game on Thursday night, I thought we were taking a hammering. I said it to all my pals privately. I thought we were getting beat 3 or 4, and that's not been a defeatist. That's been realistic. And Rangers done amazing to get that result on Thursday, and we were very unlucky not to win that game. But I really fear for this game on Thursday, and I know the crowd, and I'll be there on Thursday. The crowd will help this team on. But I don't care what anybody says. See if you've got 5, 6, 7, 8 of your first team squad missing. Look at Liverpool, look at Tottenham, look at Newcastle. They've all suffered because they've had major injuries. So it's no 1 or 2 players like the other side of the city. They've got 1 or 2 in a row shouting out, oh, we miss McGregor, we miss Vickers. Try missing the players that Rangers are missing, and you'll see all about it. And that's where I feel for Big Philip Clement, and that's where this man has done an amazing job. This man has done an amazing job with the hands he's got to deal with.
All right, mate.
Robert,
it's a puzzle. I'll come right back to you, Bridgeman. I'll come back to you. Bridgeman, it's another puzzle. The manager.
I think there's absolutely, and Robert's correct too. And in his own mind, and he's correct. A lot of us will agree with him with some of it anyway. The manager, I said it earlier, the manager's got a tough job. Between 10 and 15 games to play this season. And we're going to have enough players to actually play them all and be top form. Well, the answer's got to be yes. We've got to have players to be able to do it. Whether, in fact, we get the songs out of them, I don't know. Such a big opportunity we've got. I said that earlier, Robert. Some things about Rangers that don't ring through, and it's in a positive side. Let's put it that way. But I don't know about the injuries. Some of the guys must be coming back from injury. I'm not scared of playing any players in our team. They're in the squad. They're there to be played, and let's do it. But I 100% agree with Robert when he says that team, Benfica, are a good side. They are a good side. They pressured us from the word go there last week. But we held out and we did the business, and we actually looked a better team than them when we were pressing. So we've got that to do. Obviously, I'm hoping that the players that we're looking for will be available.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at a message I was sent there. Big Al, you wanted to come in?
Oh, no, I was just going to say to Robert. Robert rhymed off 3 teams there, Newcastle, Liverpool and Tottenham. The difference between them is, Robert, they don't have a manager like Felipe Clement. That's what I think's the difference.
Well, that's a good point, Big Al. That's a good point. And they have a much bigger budget than we could only dream of.
I know.
Different
level, aye, but they build a team.
Robert.
Breaking news, guys. We've got Hearts in the semi-final.
Oh, Robert, I was going to watch that game.
Sorry, big man.
I'm going to go, gentlemen. I've got stuff to do, but wonderful show. Best platform ever.
Cheers.
All the best, mate.
Right, no worries. Take care.
You take time to watch it after the show, Robert, so you've just ruined Fox's night as well. You think I'm kidding? He wants you bad.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, he does.
Sir, you know when it's breaking news and it's the day of the Rangers, you can't hold your water when it's the day of the Rangers. Come on.
You've got to learn to keep some secrets, Robert.
Apologies, folks.
No, right. That's all right, mate. That's all right. We'll take that, won't we? Southside.
Aye, Jambos, aye. Just dispatch of them.
Take that. Linda?
Yeah, sorry, Ox. Yes, absolutely happy with that. We've got played well against Hearts. We've obviously just come back a good result against them. It'll be totally different, obviously, because it's Hampden and the neutral venue. But definitely
beat them in the semi-final in the League Cup, so we'll beat them in the final, semi-final of the Scottish Cup. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, Ox. Confident about that, and we've got a few weeks. We don't even need to think about that now. Just park it and. Maybe we'll have some players back by then.
maybe. Of
It's a bit
different
of success,
ones.
isn't it, Oxford? It's a bit of success at the door. It's everybody's saying.
What'd you say, Bridge?
I say it's a bit of a success getting Hearts.
You've got to play everybody, mate. So
of course, pal. I understand.
You've got to play everybody.
For the next
see how
round,
it takes us.
Are
you happy with that, Derek?
The Benfica. Sorry, can I cut in about the Benfica game?
Yeah, on you go, mate.
Right, I don't think, I think we've been quite negative with it. We've got Buckland, Tavernier, Bolton, Suter, Redvan, and then in front of them we've got Lindstrom, Diamondi. Didn't move him up. In front of him you've got Lawrence, Silva, Dethers, and then whoever we put on the right. I don't think that these Portuguese teams are. How did I say it without getting chucked off your channel? But they're a bit poncy. They don't have the physicality, or
they don't have the cojones. Would that work for you?
Aye, they don't have what traditionally what the SPFL has, that we get undersold for. That people say that we're a farmers' league, but they didn't have the grit or the determination to get through it. And you've seen that in the Benfica game. We got 2 goals, and they were good goals for Lawrence, and. You've seen the one with the penalty and then goals, but they didn't they're flair players, they're individualists, guys that are on $300,000 a week with Ferraris. Are they really going to do that well in Ibrox? Can we give ourselves a wee bit of credit and say they're just a bunch of fannies and we might actually beat them?
Right. Watch your limeys, Derek. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean that, but we might actually stand a chance of beating them. Sorry. What age is Angel Di Maria? 36?
Yeah, well, no, listen, he's past his.
And what's Otamendi? How old's Otamendi?
Mid-30s, I think.
Are we really saying they're better than Borussia Dortmund or RB Leipzig, or are they better than the teams we beat before?
I don't think, but then football doesn't work like that. I'll tell you who they are better than.
Put it down, mate. I'm saying 2-0 to Rangers. What you think, mate?
I'm not saying 2-0 to Rangers. What I'm saying is they're a better team than Motherwell. Yeah.
They are.
Right, I just want to change the subject slightly. Some more breaking news. Okay. Southside, this is one I don't know if you picked up. Hibs, don't laugh, Southside. Hibs have announced that it's broken STV news. They're cutting the away allocation for both Rangers and Celtic because of behaviour. I didn't notice anything get thrown on the park yesterday for the Rangers fans. I didn't notice. And I also noticed 6,000 empty seats in the away end. So, Southside, another example of Scottish football hating itself to death.
Aye, it sure is. I don't know. They're at it, aren't they? It's disgusting behaviour for them. Hearts are at it and all. They give Hibs the full end when Hibs go to Tynecastle. So there's no reason why they wouldn't give it to us. And then they leave the space at the side, which is empty, and you look in their stadiums and there's empty spaces. Then they complain they've no money. I wish, it breaks my heart to say it, but I wish the club would maybe just come out. And it breaks my heart to say it, but we should just go like, you know what, we'll just not take any for that game. Just not take any and just start hitting them. It breaks my heart to say it because you want to go week in, week out, but they're just ripping the pee out it, and that's all they're doing. And we've just to put up with it. But it's like anything, you follow, and we fear no foe. So if that's what they're going to do, that's what they're going to do. It'll just be another ticket scramble again, Ox, as usual.
Aye, but I just business sense, obviously. Potentially 4 games a season. I mean, there was 6,000 empty seats there in Linda. 6,000 yesterday. Yeah, and remember, it's cheaper.
No, absolute madness, Ox. I mean, So 6,000, and the Rangers, when we play Hibs, it's always on Sky, it's always on television, so their fans don't bother turning up. So that's going to be even more empty seats, because see if these clubs filled their ground, you would say, well, good luck to you, but they don't. And you're right, Ox, it's just hating. Scottish football is never going to progress unless they can get rid of this attitude. It's pretty awful, and they're just bowing to a few of their fans who, and it's also a case of as well, Ox, that people in glass houses, etc. It's I don't know where it goes in the future, Ox. It's we've just got to look after ourselves, but maybe Southside's right. We should just say, look, we won't bother taking any.
Can I come in on that, man, Ox?
Yes, mate. Yes.
Just to say, Southside, thanks for that, pal. I've been saying that for a long time. I go, I bow to the Rangers fans' ability to go and watch their team away from home, and I don't want to stop anybody not going if they want to go. However, these teams are, as you said, they're actually starting to take it big style. There's something no right in all of Scottish football and among the clubs. There's something no right. If I don't know how many Rangers fans were there for the weekend, Southside.
Was it 3,000 on that stand? Was it 3,000?
Might be four, as many as 4,000.
What are they cutting the allocation to?
That'll be 2,000. Half.
2,000.
They've done it a few years back, Brad. They've done it a few years back. They hoffed it, and then there was a bit of horn for them on the other side. I'm not saying don't go. I'm just saying, see once maybe for the one game, start of the season time, because we just boycott them once. The club just come in and say, you know what, shove your 2,000 tickets or whatever you're getting is right. We'll just not go. Break your heart because you want to go and watch the Rangers, but just to hit them, no, maybe. But that's the way to do it. But it'll never happen. But it just disgusts you the way they're just going about it. But if they want to lose money, fine. But it just puts the Bears under pressure to get tickets now for it.
Can I ask you, Southside, the reason that they're doing this is because of similar to what Celtic said, they don't want to take up any tickets for safety reasons. Is that what they're saying?
No, it's a different story altogether.
Different thing, is it? Okay.
Different
so what's the reason for Hibs?
We'll see where that ends. But Robert, there was 14,000 in that game yesterday, and that was 10,000 Hibs fans turned up. And if they'd got to the final, they'd be looking for 25,000 tickets. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And can I just say something? See here, a man like Southside who follows Rangers home and away and all over Europe, to come out and say that there, what he said about 5 minutes ago, that is pretty sad. That is pretty sad, because that man follows Rangers everywhere. And for him to say, shove your 2,000 tickets, well done, Southside. Do you know what, pal? Well done, because that's what we should do. It's time Rangers stood up now and said, you know what, shove your 2,000 tickets and you'll not get any for Ibrox as well. And see, we have to give you any tickets for Ibrox. Do what we've done against Livingston. Shove them up the corner in the club deck and take that corner away and fill it with Rangers fans. We need to start hitting back.
Robert, this is all done by Police Scotland.
Let him finish. Let Robert finish.
No, that's what we need to do, because see us, we've rolled over too often, and there's nothing more sadder. They're killing Scottish football. When you watch that game, I watched that game yesterday and I'm like that. Me and my Gary could have been at that game. My Gary's never been Easter Road or Tynecastle, and he's dying to go. And we can't get it. And I even asked people who work for Rangers Football Club that I know going to get me tickets, just so and they're like, you can't, a gold member Majors. I'm like, no, but I pay my money, and you can't get tickets. And then you watch that and you see all the empty seats. It's heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking.
Yeah. And you come, Derek.
Mate, this is a bigger thing than just football. This is political, and Police Scotland are killing Scottish football. And when you go to an Old Firm game, there's more guys in high-vis vests in their opposition fucking team.
All right. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Yeah, it's no difficult, is it? Right.
There was a squad of police up and down Easter Road yesterday. All over the place, right? They probably class it as a Category A game. I don't think this is anything to do with the police at all. I think this is solely to do with Hibs.
Appeasing a section of their support.
Aye.
Yeah, appeasing a section of their support. However, but just crazy. I mean, there's 6,000 empty seats there in London. That would have been 8,000.
No, and as I said earlier, Ox, it's, I mean, that money, and I know, like, I think Hibs have had a bit of an injection of cash recently, and they've come out and said that they can take the hit on it, but that eventually is going to, have an effect on them. But it's just about seeing the bigger picture. As you say, it's appeasing a section of our fans, Ox, who just cannot take it. The fact that we go there and we beat them. I mean, for me, it's as straightforward as that. They just can't take it. But I don't know what the way forward is, Ox.
Also, you should be congratulating it because of us. Hibs go to play in Europe and our other teams as well. Yeah, they forget about that. Yeah.
Yeah, they do, Ox. There's never a thanks or never a. It's not, you're not looking for thanks. You're just looking for some appreciation or somebody
to be honest and say, by the way, the reason we're getting these teams into Europe is because of the coefficient that Rangers have earned. That's the facts. Yeah. Robert, then Bridgman.
The coefficient, well done, the Glasgow Rangers over the last 5 or 6 years. And listen, let's all look forward to Thursday night, because as we always say on here on Rangers Radio, Europe's no for everybody. And you know what? I can't wait to get in that stadium on Thursday night, and the rafters are going to be shaking like hell, and we're going to give our own. Do you know what, Oxford? I think we are the underdogs on Thursday night, even over the home team, because of all these injuries. Because I do think they do make a difference. If we can't, Seema, etc. on Thursday night, I'd be more than confident we're going to win this game. But you know what? Rangers have done it before. They've done it before 2 years ago. Leipzig, Red Star Belgrade, Borussia Dortmund. Who's to say we can't get it again?
Yeah. Listen, we're in a better position than I thought we could have been coming back to Ibrox. We're still well in the tie, and we've got a chance. But let's see where it takes us. Bridgman.
I know.
Oh.
Yeah. What was that? I know you wanted to talk. Sorry. Apologies, pal. I heard somebody coming in there and it's threw it off.
No. Anyway, we're near that time of the evening. We're going to wind up the show. Well, it's been an eventful night tonight, Southside, isn't it?
Aye, certainly has. What a news stories breaking in the normal. Talking about Rangers, there's always something interesting. Talking about the famous Glasgow Rangers. No, Robert, I'm a wee bit surprised, mate. You thought we'd get a hammer last week. I'm surprised, but I respect your opinion, mate. But we've not been battered off a Portuguese team in all the time we've been playing, so that was always to be accounted for. And listen, on another night, if it wasn't for a penalty, we rode a luck a bit at times. You're always going in Europe, but for goals and at the end of an own goal, we'd have walked away with the first team in the Europa League. They've been playing in at home to defeat them there, and you need a bit of luck in Europe, Robert. So we'll take a bit of luck on Thursday night, but listen, nothing to fear, and I'm sure Ibrox will be rocking, like you say, on Thursday night, mate, at 5:45.
Right, last word for your good self, Robert, before we wind up the show.
I know I've been a wee bit negative there, Southside, and my last words are League Cup in the bag, last 16, a possible quarter-final of Europa League, Scottish Cup semi-final, 2 points ahead of them in the league. Do you know what? What's a no to love to be a Rangers fan? So there's my positive tonight. Come on, bring it on Thursday, and let's do it, Rangers. Let's get to the quarter-final. Let's beat Dundee on Sunday, and then we'll take it from there. Thanks, Oxford, for taking my call tonight.
Always a pleasure, Robert. Cheers. Last word for your good self, Linda.
Yeah, great show. Good being on tonight, Ox. Lots of good talking points, and I'm just looking for 2 victories in the next game. But I suspect Thursday could be a bit of a roller coaster, and I'm going for 3-2 Rangers, but we might need extra time.
Oh, wonder.
Sorry,
South side.
Just thinking about my blood pressure there. Listen, as long as we win, it doesn't matter how we go through. If it has to be penalty kicks, but I hope Jack Butland can start saving some if it gets to that point. But no, I'm sure Ironworks will be rocking. Ox, I'm looking forward to Thursday. It's been a pleasure to be on with yourself and obviously Linda and the legend, the Bridgeman tonight. So thanks for having us on.
You wouldn't big Jack on for penalty kicks, would you?
No, you need to sharpen up on that, mate. It's not looking good at all, is it? No. There's leaving a bit of confidence there that you think you might get close to it at the moment anyway.
Wow.
Oh dear. Bridgeman, over to you.
Oh, what can I say? Oxford, what a fantastic show tonight. Really, really good. Brilliant discussions, as Linda said. I'm very, very happy to be on. And by the way, Southside and Linda carrying me through. Thank you very much. And a big shout out to the techie boys in the background. And can I just say to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, big game coming up at the weekend. Big game. And Thursday night, big game. Biggest game of the season by a long way. This has got to be it. I'm going for a 1-0 for the Rangers. A 1-0. That's what I'm going for.
Okay. Well,
and
we've got a lot to talk about before.
Get in there.
Keep
it going for the Rangers, everybody. Just keep it going.
Here. Can I thank Derek, who joined us, Big Alfie Australia, Robert, of course, Linda, Southside and Bridge for doing the show, Fox and Old School Blue, then the technicals in the background, and just to let people know, the Facebook issue was Facebook. We had no control over it at all. Thanks for listening. Rangers Radio will be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10, talking about all things Rangers as we build up to this roller coaster, as Linda's calling it. Take it away, Old School Blue.